Good morning. As we go to the Chitas of today, the Chumash and the Tanya of today. So we go to the Chumash of the day, and we are holding with the story of Moshe, God asking Moshe Rabbeinu to go down to the Jewish people. We know that he argued that Moshe Rabbeinu was reluctant, so to say, to go down to the land of Egypt. So we're holding on chapter 3, verse number 16. As Ziknei Yisrael, go and assemble the elders of the Jewish people, and tell them, Hashem God, the God of your fathers. Nira Elai came and appeared to me. Avram, the God of Abraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Lamer saying, Pakoid Pakadati. I will surely remember you. And what is being done to you in Egypt. So now she said, who are the Ziknei Yisrael? Who are the elders of the Jewish people? So now she says, these are those devoted to study. In general, Ziknei does not mean old, it means the wise. Or you might say they mean regularly elderly men. How would he be able to gather the elders of 600,000? That would be a lot of elderly people, Baruch Hashem. But it means the elders meant the wise sages, the leaders of the Jewish people. Verse 17, and tell them, I will bring you out from the pain of Egypt. And to the land of the Canaanites. From the Chittim and the Amorites and the Prizim. And from the Chivi and the Yevusi, to a land of flowing of milk and honey. Verse 18, and they will listen to your voice. Then you and the elders of the Jews will come, to the king of Egypt, and you will tell him, Hashem the God of the Jews. Have called to us, and therefore now please let us go. Let us go in a journey of 3 days in the desert, and we'll be able to serve a sacrifice to God. And Rashi says, and they will hearken to your voice. May alehem. As soon as you're going to say the expression, Pakoid Yifkaid Eschem, when you're going to say these words, Pakoid Yifkaid Eschem, God will surely remember you. They will respond ASAP. Why? Because this was the sign that Yaakov and Yosef already told them. These words, Pakoid Yifkaid Eschem, he gave them this message. The second somebody's going to come and say these words, Pakoid Yifkaid, it's going to automatically, they'll realize, oh, Yaakov told them that, as it says in Bereshis, V'lakim Pakoid Yifkaid Eschem. Jacob said it. And so Yosef said right before he died, he said, Pakoid Yifkaid Eschem. So when you're going to say those magical words, they will realize that, look at that. This is the first time somebody has come and said these words. Next Rashi, Nikolin Noshem Mikra, it was an expression of occurrence. Verse 19. And tell them right now that I know the king of Egypt will not permit you to go. I'm going to tell you the halach to go, except through a mighty hand. So now she said, the king of Egypt will not permit you to go if I do not show him my mighty hand. As long as I do not show him my mighty hand, he will not let you to go. And Rashi says, what means leyitain? Leyishvaik means leyitain means he will not permit. Rashi brings proof that it means that that's the meaning of yitain, to permit. Verse 20. Shlachti Yisodi, and then I will send my hand. In case yes Mitzrayim, and I will smite the Egyptians b'chol nufleisai, with all my wonders. Asher esem b'kirber, which I will do in their midst. And afterwards he will send them out. Verse 21. And I will put the favor of this nation, the Einim Mitzrayim, in the eyes of Egypt. And when you will go, you will not go empty-handed, and you're going to go out, as you'll see the next verse. And each woman will borrow from her neighbor, and from the dweller of her house. They're going to give them their gold and their silver objects, with smolos and their garments. And you're going to be so much gold and so much silver that you're going to adorn it on your children. And he told them, as Mitzrayim, you will empty Egypt. And God is base, and Moshe God is Ativais, and even those who live, those Egyptians that lived with you in your own house. And he told them, now she says, is the concept of emptiness. Nitzaltem can mean you can save them also. Nitzaltem in this book, Targumai, as the Targum translated, that you will empty the whole Egypt. And Rashi brings many, many verses that the word V'nitzaltem is to empty out Egypt. And the Jewish people will empty out the land of Egypt. And let's continue the next chapter. Chapter 4, verse number 1. Moshe said to God, he said, no, they won't believe me. They'll say, who said that God revealed himself to you? Verse number 2. What is in your hands? It's a stick. So now she says, what is in your hands? We know what's in his hands. Mizeh is mazeh. And in usual spelling, it's usually spelled ma-zeh, two different words. It was written as one word to imply the meaning that mazeh, that in your hands, you are liable to be stricken because you have suspected innocent people. I'm telling you, they are going to listen. And you're saying, no, they're not good people. They're not going to listen. That's a cheshid b'kshedim in Jewish law. You are suspecting innocent people. It's a terrible thing. And the simple meaning is that God's talking to Moses as a person who says to a friend, do you admit that this, before you are stoned? He answers, yes. Well, I'll make it into I will make it into a tree. So over here also he's going to say, what you have in your hand, and what you have in your hand, I'm going to turn it into a snake. Verse number 3. He said, throw it to the ground. And he threw it to the ground. And it turned into a snake. And Moshe fled from it. So now she says, why did it turn into a snake? Over here, God hinted to Moses, that he has spoken ill, lashon hara, on the Jewish people. And he adopted the art of a snake, of trickery, like the first snake who tricked Adam and Eve. Verse number 4. God said to Moshe, stretch out your hand and grab its tail. And he stretched out his hand, he grabbed his tail, and it became a staff. So now she says again, this is an expression of taking hold. And there are many words in scripture in this expression of grabbing, take a hold, by Yechzak. Verse number 5. So they will believe. So the Jewish people believe that God revealed himself to you. The God of the father, the God of Abraham, Isaac, the God of Isaac, the Yaakov, the God of Jacob. Verse number 6. Then God told to Moses again, take your hand, put it in your bosom. Put his hand in his bosom. He saw that his hand turned like a leopard, a snow leprosy, total like white. So now she says, it is usual for a Metzora, a leper, to be white. We find later on in the laws of leprosy that what's the sign of leprosy? He turns white. He hinted to him that he spoke slanderous when he said, they will not believe me. It's for this reason he was stricken with Tzeidas. Because we know Tzeidas later on in the Torah, the sickness of leprosy, Torah leprosy, which we'll learn later on in the book of Leviticus, comes from Lashon Hara. So those two, Moshe Rabbeinu was punished with leprosy. In verse number 7, he told him, "Hey, take your hand, put it back." And his hand turned back to regular. Now she says, from here we learn that the divine measure of good comes quicker than the measure of retribution. Because in the first instance, it says from your bosom, and over here it happened right away. Verse number 8. If they're not going to believe you to this one, if they're not going to listen to the first one, they're going to listen to the second one. What does that mean? Rashi says, when you tell them, because you have been stricken, because I spoke ill of you, they will believe you. For they already learned that those who trespass against them are stricken with plagues, as the Pharaoh and Avimelech, who are punished because of Sarah. So talking against Jews God will punish you. So therefore, when you'll tell them, look, you want again, I'll do the second one. I'll become punished with leprosy because I spoke evil about you. So they'll right away understand, they'll accept the first sign, and they won't ask you to do the second sign. If they're not going to listen to the first two, if you're going to do the first two and they're still going to say, we don't believe you, you'll take from the water of the Nile. And pour it on the ground. The water you take from the Nile will turn to blood on the dry land. So she says, this hinted to them that the first plague would be the plague of blood. So the word next Rashi, the water will, the water will, comes to appears twice in this verse. Means the water that you will take from the Nile will become blood on dry land. Seems to me that it says that it will be the water that you will take from the Nile will become blood on the dry land. I understand that it means that in his hands it will turn to blood. And also when it descends on the earth, it will remain as it is. But now, in the text teaches it will not because blood, would not become blood until it hits the dry land. That's what the Torah emphasizes. On the dry land, it will turn to blood. Verse number 10. So Moshe Rabbeinu again turned to God. He said, please, God, I'm not a man of words. Not from yesterday, not from the day before. Not not for the time you have spoken to me. I have a heavy mouth and a heavy tongue. He had a lisp. So now she says, we learn from this that a full 7 days, the Holy One, blessed be He, was enticing Moshe in the thorn bushes to go on his mission. From yesterday, from the day before yesterday, from the time you have spoken to me, thus there are 3 days, and 3 times Gam is mentioned, are inclusive words, adding up to 6. And he presently in the 7th day, when he further said to him, send now with whom you will send, until he became angry in verse 14 and complained about it. All this reluctance was because he, Moshe Rabbeinu, did not want to accept a position higher than his brother Aaron. In essence, he was saying Moshe Rabbeinu was very humble. He said, really, you just send my older brother, who was a senior and was a prophet. And it says, did I appear at the house of the father when they were in Egypt? The father means Aaron. I made myself known to them in the land of Egypt. And I said to them, every man cast away the despicable idols before his eyes. And the prophecy was set to Aaron. So Moshe Rabbeinu says to God, choose Aaron. Choose Aaron. And especially, I speak with difficulty. I'm a stammerer. So he said, why are you choosing me? Choose Aaron. He's much better. 7 days. 7 days, God argued with Moshe Rabbeinu. He didn't want to become the leader. Verse 11. And God said to him, me some pella adam, who gave mouth to man a mouth? Who gives a person to be dumb or deaf, or sing or blind? Hashem, I am God who gave you these capabilities. And now she says over here, who taught you to speak when you were being judged before the Pharaoh concerning Egypt you killed? Who made the Pharaoh dumb and that did not exert any effort to issue his command to kill you? And who made his servants deaf so they would not hear the commandment concerning you? And who made the executioner blind, that did not be able to see, and you had a capability to run away? Who did all these things? I, Sheshmi Hashem Eisik, my name, my God, I am God who has the capability to do all this. And therefore, you're worried about you be able to speak. If I want you to speak, you will speak. Verse number 12. Now go, and I will be with your mouth. And I will instruct you what you shall speak. Verse 13. Be Adoni. Again, Moshe Rabbeinu turned to God and he said, please God, shlachna bi'atishtach. Send your message to whom you will send. Again, Rashi says, with whom you are accustomed to send, and with Aaron. This is Aaron, and it's his job. Another explanation, with someone else with whom you will wish to send. For I am not destined to bring them into the land. I know I'm not going to be the Redeemer. I know I'm not going to finish the job. So why don't you take somebody who's going to finish the job? And the Redeemer will be the future, who you have many messengers. Why don't we wait till Mashiach comes in Egypt? Let's just wait until Mashiach comes. Why would we go into one galus? I would take them out now, and then we'll go again into exile. And again, let's wait. Verse 14. God got angry at Moshe. I know, don't worry. I know that is it not Aaron, your brother, the Levite? I know that he will surely speak. And he's actually going out towards you. Don't worry. And he will see you with some and he'll be so happy. Rashi says over here, wrath was kindled. Yeshua ben Korcha said, in every instance that God kindled anger is mentioned, meaning that God's anger was sparked in the Torah, it is stated that there was a consequence. It's followed by a punishment. In this instance, however, no consequence is stated. And we don't find that there was a punishment came to Moshe at the kindling God's anger. Yeshua said, here too, you can see the consequence is stated. It is not Aaron, your brother, the Levite, who is destined to be a Levite and not a priest. And I have sent in that the priesthood would emanate from you. Henceforth, it will not be so. But he, Aaron, will be the priest. And that was the punishment. God said, you're pushing me. You're frustrating me. And therefore, there's going to be a consequence to this constant 7-day of argument. You were supposed to not only be the leader, you were supposed to be the high priest. And now you're going to have to give it to Aaron. And it's tit for tat. It took for Moshe Rabbeinu, it took God Moshe Rabbeinu to get Moshe Rabbeinu 7 days. And that's what ultimately happened. Moses was the high priest for 7 days. And on the 8th day, he had to give it over, the priesthood, to Aaron. He knew Yotzel Kasecha. He's coming out to you when you come to Egypt. He knows you're coming. He's a prophet. Not as you think, that he will resent your attaining a high position. You have nothing to worry about Aaron. He's as humble as you. Because this Aaron's goodness and humility, Aaron merit the ornaments of breastplate, which is placed over his heart, because Aaron was a lover of humans. He loves you. You have nothing to worry. He's going to be proud and happy that you are going to be the leader. So don't worry. Verse number 15. And you'll speak to him. And you're going to put the words that I'm going to give you in his mouth. And I will be with your mouth and his mouth. And I'll tell you exactly what you should do. So I'll be there with you in your whole journey. And he will speak for you to the people. And he will be your speaker. And you'll be to him as a leader. Rashi says, on your behalf, he will speak to the people. This proves that in every instance where it says, Ulcha, li, v'loi, v'lachem, v'lahem, hasmuchim l'dibur, which is connected to speech, that they're all, denotes the concept on your behalf. So these expressions, Hebrew expressions. He will be your interpreter because you have a speech impediment. Yes, you have a speech impediment. Lakim, over here, the word Lakim, which usually means God, over here, Lakim can be also used as a word as a master or a prince. Verse 17. Take the stick with you, which will do all the wonders of God in Egypt. That ends the Chumash. And we're going to go to the Tanya of the day. So Alter Rebbe is going to teach us a beautiful teaching over here in concerning the level of a Beinoni, the aspect of a Beinoni. And Alter Rebbe says, you already explained the concept of why we make the two vows, why we in heaven they force a soul that he should be righteous and he shouldn't be wicked. Because the Beinoni might never become a righteous man unless he really works and he wakens up God's chesed to give him, to connect him with a righteous man, will infuse his soul with the soul of a righteous man. But in general, most of us will not reach that level. And therefore, we are told, but don't we wicked. We are forced we make a vow not to be wicked. Now the Alter Rebbe continues. This concept will understand a Gemara. Gemara says, the Talmud says, Shaftem, and you will sit down, Uri Isem, and you will see, understand, Bein Tzadik L'Rasha, the difference between a righteous man and a wicked man, Bein Ovid Elikim L'Asher Lo Yavadai, to a person who serves God and a person who doesn't serve God. The question is, a righteous man is the one who serves God. What is the meaning? You're going to see the difference between a righteous man and a wicked man, between one who serves God and the one who doesn't serve God. That a righteous man is the one who serves God. It sounds over here like there's a righteous man and a wicked man, and another person, the one who serves God, and the one who doesn't serve God. What does that mean? What is the meaning of the Gemara? It sounds like there's a third person. There's a righteous man, there's a wicked man, and there's one who serves God, and everybody else is the one who doesn't serve God. Even the righteous man doesn't serve God, seemingly. So the Rebbe explains out. The Rebbe explains, so the Alter Rebbe says, right, there's a righteous man, there's a wicked man, and there's one who serves God. And the one who serves God is the Beinani. And that's not even right. A righteous man is not the one who serves God. What does that mean? The difference between one who serves God, Oive, and the righteous man, the tzaddik, is that he who serves God, shall who loshen is written in the present tense. Shu be'emtza avoida. It means a person who's in the midst of the service. What's the service? The service is the war, the struggle. That's a service. I'm in the service. I'm still in the service. I'm still in the midst of the struggle. So the righteous man is not in the midst of a struggle anymore. And therefore, he's not in a struggle. He's past the struggle. Beinani, the middleman, is the one who's actually right now in the middle of the struggle. The Beinani is the one, the Ovid Elikim, the one who's in the middle of the struggle, is Kabbalah, to banish him from the small city, from his body. It shouldn't clothe itself in the garments of the body. This struggle, my friend, is not an easy job. This is a constant battle with one evil nature, and it's continuously, it's hard. And who is in this battle? The righteous man has won the battle. The wicked man has lost the battle. The Beinani is in the battle. This is the Beinani. So that's the meaning. You shall see the difference between a righteous man who's won the battle, between a wicked man who's lost the battle, and between the middleman who either is going to be in the battle or is not going to be in the battle. Between the one who's in the battle and struggling with his Yetzer Hara, or the one who's not. And that's the Beinani. The Beinani is the one that struggles. Tzaddik is called a servant of God as a title. As a title, he has the title already. He's one. Or like a guy who's a wise man. So usually you call a wise man a Talmud Chacham, which means a student of wisdom. But what about the guy who's not a student anymore? He's a wise man. He's a Chacham. He's a wise man already. He's not a student anymore. He's past. He's already graduated. He's already become the wise man. He's become the king. He's not looking to become a prince, might become a king. Then you have the king. He's a king already. So to the tzaddik has overcome his struggles already. He has no struggles. And if he had all struggles are outer struggles, he has no inner struggles. He's become a king, or he's become a wise man. So to a tzaddik, the tzaddik has already affected and completed and accomplished his service of waging war with evil in him. That he chased out his evil from him. By Yelach went away his evil. As he says, that my heart is void within me, because I've chased out my evil inclination. So the tzaddik has finished that struggle. He has holy spiritual struggles. He has to work with the world. He has outer struggles. But inner struggles, he has no inner struggles. The Beinoni has inner struggles. The Russia has given into his inner struggles. He's lost the war. The Beinoni is constantly in the war. Beinoni, yeshkam shtei madregas. And the Beinoni, you have two levels. The one who's in the struggle, he's in the Marines, he's fighting the war, he's the foot soldier. And then you have the one who's not servicing. He's just not doing Avedas. He's not servicing, he's not in the struggle either. He has Yetzer Hara, but he's not in the struggle. Applicant ain't a Rasha, he's not a wicked person. He never did this. Beinoni never did one Aveda. V'gam kaim kol mitzvah sheshel l'kaim, and he did every mitzvah he can do. The Talmud Torah Keneged Kol, he never stopped from learning Torah. V'lo pasim pumagis, and he never stopped to study, say the word of Torah. But what is this Beinoni? This Beinoni is not fighting with these Yetzer Hara. He's not fighting. He's not fighting. He's ignoring him. I have a good day. I'm not going to do any sins. I'm only going to do good. I'm not going to go to war with this evil inclination. I'm not interested in struggling. I'm not going to become a tzaddik. I'm not going to be a Beinoni. I'm not going to be a Rasha. But you know what? I like the Beinoni who doesn't struggle. So the Alter Rebbe says we have a Beinoni that struggles. We have a Beinoni that doesn't struggle. To go out and to fight his animalistic soul with his godly soul, with the Oir Havai, the light of God that shines upon his soul. He's not interested in fighting. Because his Yetzer Hara, this Beinoni is lucky. His Yetzer Hara is in him, but his Yetzer Hara says, listen, go, finish. I don't have to fight with him. He doesn't have any tightness. For example, one who is by nature a person who loves to sit and learn, due to stolid temperament. A person can have, he's a cold person. He's a stoic person. Let's say you have a person who doesn't have a conflict sexual desires, not because he's holy, he's overcome his sexual desires. He's a frigid by nature. Well, the Eibishter gave him frigidity. The Eibishter gave him a natural instinct of a natural disposition of coldness to everything. You have people who just by nature don't have desires. They like to sit and live in like a hermit. They like to sit and live in the mountains. They like to separate themselves from the world. You have a lot of people that way. And they think that is because that they are holy people. It's not. It's because that's the nature God gave them. And there's no struggle with them concerning the aspect of the taivas, the desires. Such kind of people don't have to contemplate in the greatness of God that much. To create a spirit of knowledge and a fear of God in the mind. To guard himself, not transgressing a negative commandment. And neither does he have a great burn of God in his heart. He doesn't need that great burn of God. The dafka bebekiyan mitzvahs to cleave to God in the positive commandments. The Talmud Torah can learn Torah goes above them all. Is good enough for him. For this Beinoni who doesn't struggle because of his nature. The it's not for him that hidden love that he has within him. That we are called lovers of God. This Beinoni is not called the one who serves God. Because this hidden love ain't a pearl of a is not at all doing anything. Yudushma is saying, so this is a gift that was given to us through our inheritance to every Jew, as we'll explain later. So too, he who is not inherently studious, but has accustomed himself. Actually, he accustomed himself. It became a second nature. To learn with great diligence. And his habit became a second nature. Became a second nature. So this person also, for him, it's enough, this hidden love. And then Cain, he goes, let's say he wants to go above his normal way of studying. So we Alter Rebbe over here explained that we have a tzaddik. The Gemara means we have a tzaddik, we have a righteous person, we have a wicked person. And the Beinoni, we have two kinds of people in the Beinoni itself. We have the Beinoni, the one who struggles, he's fighting with his Yetzer Hara, and he's, as you'll soon see, the Alter Rebbe is going to say, he's antagonizing his Yetzer Hara. He doesn't want his Yetzer Hara just to walk away. No, he wants to use him out. He's going to antagonize his Yetzer Hara. His Yetzer Hara wants a taiva, and he's going to antagonize him to fight him, and he's going to make sure he doesn't do the taiva, and actually he's going to transform the Yetzer Hara to have a taiva for God. And then you have that guy who's cold by nature, indifferent by nature. Some people are more spiritual by nature. And they love spirituality. They don't like physicality. They want to be secluded from the world to begin with. They don't want to have anything special. They don't have any special desires. And they do everything that is right. There's no struggle. That's a Beinoni. He never did a sin. Never did anything wrong. But he's called a Beinoni Shelo Ya'avodeh. He's the Beinoni that doesn't do the service of God, which is the interesting expression. So we have a Beinoni that serves God and a Beinoni that doesn't serve God. Serving God, he's doing every mitzvah. He's doing he's not doing an Avera, not doing a sin, God forbid, but he's not in the struggle. So here the Alter Rebbe tells us all that if you're in the struggle, which most of us are in the struggle because we have desires, whatever it might be, that's the one who serves God. We're higher than a tzaddik even because we serve God. We're arguing with our animalistic soul. We're overcoming him. We are teaching him. We're elevating him. We're making this animalistic soul a better animalistic soul, a more righteous animalistic soul. That's the guy who serves the Eibishter. It's going to, the Alter Rebbe will continue. It's a beautiful, beautiful teaching of the Alter Rebbe. And that's why the Alter Rebbe is ultimately saying you should be happy to be the one who serves God, the one whose Yetzer Hara is still alive. You have a taivus, you have certain desires and certain hang-ups and certain wills, and it's a struggle. If you're in the struggle, you're the one who serves the HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the one who serves God. That finishes the Tanya of the day. Today is the 23rd day of the month, and the Tillim of the day is chapter 108, 109, 110, 111, 112. So 108 to 112, and you would have done the Tanya, the Chitas of the day. I wish you a wonderful day. Tomorrow is the 24th of Tevis. It'll be a great day to come together and learn Tanya together, because it is the yahrzeit of the Alter Rebbe himself. day of his passing on the 24th of Tevis. I wish you all a wonderful and beautiful, happy 23rd of Tevis, and we'll see you all tomorrow at 8 a.m. for Chitas again. Have a wonderful day, guys.